Hello guys, welcome back to another UFC video. This is going to be a little bit different than our previous videos. For starters, I'm going to be by myself today. We are going to go over Fight Night's card. I'm going to give my predictions and my thoughts on each fight, except for some that I'm going to skip on just because I'm not sure who to bet on. But yeah, let's get things started off with Yunezi Dubin versus Carly Judas. This is going to be in women's flyweight. We got two young fighters. Dubin is on an 8-fight win streak. She's got 6 wins by finishes. She won her contender series with a huge overhand right. Slept Clark. On the other hand, we got Carly Judas. She's coming off 2 losses. She lost her contender series appearance. She had an amazing UFC debut even though she lost. Her record doesn't really show how good of a fighter Carly Judas is. But I feel like Dubin's going to come out and fight, throw hands. I feel like she's going to be able to get that upset in her contender series win. She was a massive underdog and was able to KO her opponent. I feel like she's going to carry some of that momentum into this next fight, even though Carly Judas does need a win. And she's coming in hungry for a W, especially after that tough loss she had. But yeah, I'm going to go on Dubin right here. She's plus 285 underdog. Carly Judas is the heavy favorite, but I feel like Dubin can get it done and she can get an upset over Carly Judas. Perfect. Alrighty, so the next fight in this card is going to be Nunes versus Cachoeira. This is one of those fights that I was talking about at the beginning of the video that I'm not going to bet on because I have no idea who can win. I have no idea like what's going to happen. This can go either way, so we'll skip this one for now. And we're going to go into the Daniel Barres versus Andre Lima fight. All right, so for this fight, we got a 36-year-old Daniel Barres from Spain. He's had a decent MMA career. He appeared in Dana White's Contender Series back in 2021. He lost. It was a close fight, but he moved on to a different promotion. He got a couple wins by KO/TKO. He got a submission win, and then he came back to the UFC in 2023. He did get submitted in the first round. After that, he fought again in 2024, and he actually got his win by decision. They are both coming into this fight with a win. However, we got Andre Lima on the other hand, a 26-year-old Brazilian. He's a kickboxer that moved into MMA. He's undefeated in the UFC. He has 3 fights, all 3 wins. His UFC debut was kind of funny because he got bit in the arm and he got a win by DQ. And then he also won his Contender Series appearance by unanimous decision. For a kickboxer that mainly focuses on striking, he doesn't really have any flashy finishes. Mostly have been decisions. I feel like Andre Lima's going to pull the victory here. He's a heavy favorite, minus 395. We got Daniel Barres plus 310 underdog. I don't think Daniel Barres can pull an upset. So we're going to go with Andre Lima here. Alrighty, with that being said, the next fight would be Stephanie Luciano versus Sam Hughes. Like the second fight in this card, I'm also going to skip this one. I don't really have much information on any of them. So this is going to be a skip for me. And we're going to head straight into Carlos Vela versus Josias Muzaza. This is going to be a bantamweight bout. Carlos Vela is coming off a loss. It's his second UFC fight. He's a huge underdog in this fight. Then we got Josias Muzaza. He's undefeated. He has 7 wins by KO, 6 in the first round. It is his UFC debut. He's a heavy favorite. He's at minus 800. Carlos Vela is at plus 550. I feel like Josias Muzaza is going to come in huge with a KO victory. It's going to be in the second round. He's just such a heavy hitter. And I don't think Carlos Vela is going to have an answer for him. So yeah, let's go ahead and lock him in. Sweet. For the next fight of the night, we got a featherweight bout. It's going to be Su Young Yu versus AJ Cunningham. Man, this card is full of favorites and underdogs. There is going to be some upsets here, but I don't think this is going to be one of them. Su Young is coming in with a 3-fight win streak. They all have been decisions. He does have 3 wins by KO, 5 wins by submission, and he has 6 first round finishes. And then on the other hand, we got AJ Cunningham. He's coming off a loss. He got KO'd. Then he lost his Contender Series appearance as well. I just don't see AJ Cunningham pulling an upset on Su Young here. So yeah, we're just gonna lock in Su Young right here. And I feel like it's gonna be a win by submission in the second round. So yeah, moving on to our first heavyweight bout of the night. It's gonna be Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Ryan Spann. We've got Waldo Cortez Acosta here. He's on a 3-fight win streak. His UFC record is 6-1. He's 48% on significant strikes, 461 out of 457. And then on the other hand, we got Ryan Spann. He's coming off a win in the light heavyweight division. He's primarily a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter. He's actually moving up to the heavyweight. He has a 8-5 UFC record. He has some pretty decent takedowns, but I feel like this fight is gonna stay on the feet, and Waldo Cortez is gonna come in and get a victory. He is minus 180 favorite, and then we got Ryan Spann at plus 150 underdog. He will have to worry about the takedown threat by Ryan Spann, and Ryan Spann is gonna be a little bit faster, a little bit more agile. If Waldo Cortez can clip him with a good hit, it's gonna be over for Ryan Spann. It's gonna be a great fight, and I think it's gonna be a win by KO/TKO. I say third round. So yeah, that concludes this fight. I don't really got much. The next one is a featherweight bout. We got Seung Woon Choi versus Kevin Gallegos. This is the opener to the main card. This is another lopsided fight. We got Kevin Gallegos coming in as a minus 550 favorite, and Woo Choi as a plus 410 underdog. Seung Woo Choi is in the Korean Zombie team, but he is coming off a loss. His UFC record is 4-6. He hasn't been very consistent. And then on the other hand, we got Kevin Gallegos, who is his UFC debut. He got a finish in his Contender Series appearance, and his only loss is to Gene Silva. That Gene Silva loss has aged very, very well. As we can all see, Gene Silva is on a tear right now. But yeah, this is going to be really fun fight to watch. Woo Choi is a good striker. Like I said, he's not very consistent in the winning department, but he's going to try to get a win over Kevin Gallegos, but he's just going to be too much for him. And I feel like Kevin Gallegos is going to pull a win here. So yeah, let's go ahead and lock that in. You don't want to do the money line. I feel like Kevin Gallegos is going to win by KO/TKO. That's at minus 175. So yeah, you can go with this as well. He's also a good one to bet on as well. So all right, moving on to the second fight of the card. We got, I'm going to butcher these names so bad. We got Dr. Nurgozai versus Brenton Ribeiro. This is a light heavyweight bout. We got Dr. on his UFC debut. He's undefeated. He won this Contender Series bout with a huge KO win. Brendan Ribeiro is coming in as the 295 underdog. He's coming off a split decision win. He does have a 1-2 UFC record. This is one of those fights that I feel like Ribeiro can pull off an underdog win. He's hungry for a win. He needs a win, and he needs a win more decisively than a split decision, especially because he does have his 2 UFC losses as well. Even though Dr. is coming in with huge momentum, which is why he's so heavily favorited. He won his Contender Series appearance. He's been on a tear, and I feel like just Ribeiro's going to want it more. And I'm going to lock him in for our second underdog of the night. If you're trying to feel it a little bit more risky, I feel like Ribeiro is going to pull the upset win by decision. So yeah, that's another bet you can do. And for these bets, to win by decision or win by KO, I recommend doing them just by themselves, not on a parlay with another fight. They're a little bit more risky, so doing them by themselves is a little bit better. But yeah. All right, moving on to our next fight. We got Damon Blackshear versus Cody Gibson. This is another lopsided fight. We got Damon Blackshear coming off a win by a super rare twister. That was a crazy submission. He does have 2 recent losses. One to Montiel Jackson and the other one to Mario Bautista. I mean, both of those guys have been on a tear. They've been winning a lot of fights. And Blackshear losing to them is not really that worrisome. I mean, it is a loss, but you know what I mean. Um, then on the other hand, we got Cody Gibson. He's coming off a 2-fight win streak. His UFC record is 2-2. So that means that he pretty much needs a victory here. But I don't think he's going to be able to pull the upset. I feel like Damon Blackshear is going to get the dub. So yeah, let's go ahead and lock that in right now. He is a minus 485 favorite. And we got Gibson, on the other hand, plus 370 underdog. Man, we've had so many lopsided fights. It's crazy. And the method of victory, I feel like Blackshear is going to win by decision. It is at minus 115, but if you want to risk it, you can get a little bit more money back than the minus 485. Anyway, we got our next fight. It's going to be in the lightweight bout. We got Alexander Hernandez versus Kurt Holobow, or however you say his name. They are both coming off a win. His last two fights have been pretty close. He does have a 41% significant strike percentage, 633 out of 1,544. Kurt Holobow has a 46% significant strike percentage. He's 460 out of 1,009. Kurt Holobow has had a huge MMA career. He's fought in a lot of other promotions. He only has 3 UFC fights the past couple years. I just feel like he's not going to be able to pull an upset, and I feel like Alexander Hernandez is going to get a dub here. He is minus 198 favorite, and we got Kurt at plus 164 underdog. If you want to choose a method of victory, I think Alex Hernandez to win by KO/TKO. This one's super risky. Like I said earlier, I would play it by itself, but it's a bet that you can do, and I can totally see it happening. So yeah, that concludes this fight. And then moving on to our second to last fight. This is going to be another name that I butcher really bad. Chidi Dukauni versus Zaleski dos Santos. We got Chidi. He's a streaky fighter. He started his UFC career great. Then he went on a 3-fight losing streak. And now he's coming with a 2-fight win streak into this fight. So that inconsistency does not sit that well with me. He is a big striker. He does have a 64% significant strike percentage, 401 out of 628. And then we got Zaleski dos Santos. He's coming off a win, a TKO. He's also a striker. He's got a 42% significant strikes. He's 831 for 1980. I feel like Zaleski dos Santos can get a win here. This is going to be a fight that stays on the feet, in my opinion. We're going to see a lot of strikes, not very many takedowns. However, I do think it's going to go the distance, and Zaleski is going to pull a win here. So let's go ahead and lock him in. The method, again, if you're feeling lucky, I feel like Zaleski is going to pull the win by decision, and it is at plus 215. So yes, it's a little risky, but it's a bet that you can totally do. It's going to be a super fun fight. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for these two guys. And then on to our main event of the night. We got the rematch between Marvin Vettori and Roman Dolidze. Marvin is coming off injury. He's been inactive since 2003. And that was a loss to Cannonier. He's definitely looking for a comeback win here. Just the thing that worries me a little bit is him being inactive for so long. There's so much someone can prepare. And we'll see how it goes for him. But on the other hand, we got Roman. He's coming in this fight with a 2-fight win streak over Anthony Smith and Kevin Holland, which those are really good wins. He's looking to get his revenge. He's never been finished. I feel like Roman is going to get the victory here. He is the underdog, but I'm still going to lock him in. This is going to be a really good and fun fight to watch. And I feel like this is not going to go the distance. Dolidze is going to be very well prepared. He has been pretty active, and he's going to be well conditioned. And also, he's never been finished. So I don't think this is going to go the distance. I think that he's going to win by TKO or KO. I'm going to lock that in right here. It's a plus 350. Also pretty good. Kind of risky, but that's just what I think is going to happen. Yeah, and I feel like that KO is going to come in midway through the third round. So, yep, that concludes all of our picks for today. We'll see how this goes. I will tally them up, and I'll post a YouTube short with the ones that I guessed right and the ones that I guessed wrong. All right, quick disclaimer before I end the video. The picks that I did are just the people that I think are going to win. I wouldn't put all of them together. I would mix and match fights, 2 to 3 players max. The method of victories, I would probably do them by themselves, like the Kevin Vallegos one and the Roman one as well, the Alexander Hernandez. I'd probably do those individually. And then all the other money lines, I'd probably, like I said, do 2 or 3 per parlay. So yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.